Welcome back to Brad Pitt Career Mode on F125. Today we're back for episode number 22 of Season 2 in Las Vegas. So, this might be it. There is a big chance we can win the championship here in Vegas at our home race. I'm pretty sure if Verstappen wins the race, all we need is to be on the podium. That's it. Well, still nothing we can do for the car. The Red Bull is still definitely gonna be faster. But we'll see. Into the weekend we go. Something broke. Something is broke. Look at the battery. What is that? Negative 2 billion% on the battery. Okay. Oh, why is it so bright? I don't... what is going on? Okay, I guess we'll go out for a lap. Maybe that'll fix whatever's happening. There's clearly something... Yeah. Something very wrong. Okay. And my game crashed. That is not a good omen. Okay, we're back. That was... I don't know what happened there. I've never seen that in my entire life. Well, the setup is feeling pretty good. I mean, it's a pretty simple setup, just very low downforce, but it's feeling pretty solid at the moment. The only thing I'm worried about is this is such a straight line speed, you know, power-oriented track. So I think the Red Bull is going to be just absolutely insane here. I don't know, we'll see. Okay, into qualifying we go. I'm a little worried about pace in qualifying, I'm not going to lie. We've been struggling a lot in the qualifying sessions in like the back half of this season. So hopefully we have the pace for some good times here. First lap of Q1, not the best lap. It's a 129.6. which should get us through. First lap of Q2 on the old set of tires is a 129.2. So a bit faster than Q1, but still room to improve. Here we go, purple in Sector 2, 7/10 up on our previous time. And that's good enough for third place. Okay, there we go. On the old set of tires in Q3, it's a 129.2 once again. Only good enough for 9th place. We need a big improvement. Yeah, Verstappen's already in the 127s. So we really need a banger of a lap here. Okay, here we go. Almost a second up on our previous time. Across the line in Q3. And it's only 6th. Oh my god. Again. Yeah, dude, these Red Bulls are just ridiculous. I mean, we're 1.3 seconds off of Verstappen. What are you supposed to do? So the team recommends we start on the hards, but we're going to start on the mediums because we at least need to be on the same tire compound as these Red Bulls. We cannot let them just run away at the beginning of the race. But here we are, 6th place on the grid. 5 red lights are on, and we are racing around Las Vegas for 25 laps. We're going to be close enough for move down the inside into turn 1. And that's gonna be a double overtake up onto the podium right away. We've got Piastri and Verstappen just ahead. I already know there's gonna be a lot of games to play with the DRS on this straight, but there's the 2 Red Bulls going side by side through Sector 3. They're slowing each other up. Verstappen down to 2nd place. Piastri pulls ahead. We've got enough battery to go for a move into turn 1. We're reeling in Verstappen. We're gonna stay towards the inside and go for a dive into turn 1 on Piastri. We're still side by side. He's pulling ahead. He's got the inside for this next right-hander, but we have DRS down this straight. Verstappen still right behind us. We're gonna be close enough to go for another move on Piastri around the outside of the Red Bull, but he still pulls ahead. But crucially, Verstappen down to P3. Verstappen is still very close behind on the straight, but we're going to have DRS on Piastri. We've got a little bit of battery to push even further. Verstappen is pulling alongside now, but we're starting to reel in Piastri, and we're going to be close enough for a move into P1 before we reach the braking zone. Absolutely perfect. Up into P1. Verstappen still down in P3, but Piastri is going to be close enough to come back at us around the final corner. He's got the inside line. We'll have the outside for turn 1. Gonna squeeze him to the middle of the track. Still side by side with Piastri, but he just has way more grip. That exit is crazy. We're just barely clinging to the DRS of Piastri. We're just outside of a second. We really need to keep DRS to this second Red Bull. If not, we're just going to be a sitting duck on this straight. Yeah, we might lose DRS on this lap. We're just barely within a second of Piastri, but his corner exits are just insane. He's definitely got more pace. Yeah, 1.4 seconds to Piastri, so we will not have DRS down the straight. Verstappen already pulling alongside, so he will have the... No, we have the DRS. Verstappen, he crossed the detection line. Okay, that just saved us. It's going to be really tough to defend on that straight without DRS, so we're going to let Verstappen through here. He's going to make his move up the inside, and we'll just try to tail him as closely as possible and just snag that DRS on that straight. Here we go. We'll have the DRS on Verstappen. We do have half a second gap to the Red Bull. He just gets crazy corner exits and does build on that gap, but we've got the DRS, we've got the slipstream, we've got a bit of battery as well. 220 miles an hour to the inside we go, and that is back into P2. We're gonna have to do this over and over. Verstappen is gonna come back at us into turn 1 though. We've got the inside line, we're side by side with Verstappen, but he's got more grip, more exit speed on the corner. We've got the DRS now though. As long as we can keep up by the time we get to that straight, we should be good. Yeah, it's 8/10 currently to Verstappen. He's just so fast through those last 2 sectors that it's really tough to get close enough on the straight, but we have the DRS once again. We're running very low on battery, but we will be close enough for a move under braking back into P2 on lap number 6. We're gonna need to defend on this straight a lot harder this time around to make sure we're still close enough by the time we get to that main straight. Here goes Verstappen on the inside, really trying to slow this guy up, defending as hard as we can. We're still side by side with Verstappen. We've got the inside for this next left-hander through the chicane, still side by side with Max Verstappen, our championship rival. He's gonna pull ahead now, but that was perfect defense. We'll be close enough now. Yeah, this is a lot better. We can just rely on the DRS, use way less battery, and still repass Verstappen. So we need to fight him as much as we possibly can so we stay close by the time we enter that straight. Verstappen is staying close right now. He's gonna be going for a move into turn 1. We're gonna be side by side through the first couple of corners. He's gonna get better grip on the exit. There he goes, but we will have the DRS on this first straight here, and we're gonna have to go for a move in order to slow this guy up. So down the inside we go on Verstappen, side by side with the Red Bull, back into P2. We gotta fight this guy as much as we can, so we can let him by right here, because the straight is just after this left-hander that's coming up, so the gap will be very small. It's a little, sketchy. Right there, he just kind of veered into us. What the hell is that about? Well, it's gonna be yet another overtake on Verstappen. Once again, saving a lot of battery on the straight, just relying purely on the DRS. That is definitely the best strategy for this guy, because we are definitely slower. He might be too close here. He's gonna fly past us with the DRS. I don't think we're gonna be close enough to go for a move. So we're just gonna have to stick with him for the next sector. Oh, this is gonna be very late. It might be kind of sketchy, but we're gonna send it around the outside on Verstappen. That was a little far back. We gotta try to avoid that. Yeah, this is gonna be another big dive on Verstappen if we're close enough for a move, which we are not. And we're pretty much out of battery as well. Verstappen is gonna absolutely run away here. On to lap 11. Okay, we might need to come in on this lap. Yeah, he is definitely faster. 1.5 seconds is the gap to Verstappen, so we're gonna pit this lap. Hopefully he stays out an extra one and we can kind of go for a bit of an undercut. I think that's our only chance to get ahead here. Okay, perfect. Verstappen is staying out, so we will be switching onto the hards, and we're gonna need to absolutely fly on this lap. Try to go for an undercut. Here we go. It's the Brad Pitt crew. Onto the hards we go. It's a much better stop than the one we had last time out in Brazil. So onto the new tires, and we need to absolutely push as hard as we can and try to re-overtake Verstappen when he's in the pits. Well, we've used all of our battery on that last lap. We'll see if we come out ahead of Verstappen. We do. So perfect strategy going for the undercut, but unfortunately Verstappen is going to be very close behind on this straight. So we're going to have to defend from a move into this next right-hander, stealing this inside line, gonna close the door on the Red Bull. We're gonna let him pass around this corner, nice and wide. There goes Verstappen up the inside, so we'll have the DRS on the Red Bull, but here's Russell out of nowhere. He's joining the fight, so we're both in the slipstream of Verstappen. We've got the outside for the next corner. Russell's gonna get by as well. And that's Verstappen down 2 places on one single straight. And now we've got Russell to worry about as well. I really wish George Russell was not getting involved with this. This really should just be a fight between us and Verstappen, but here comes Russell up the inside. We're gonna fight this guy as much as we possibly can, still side by side with the Mercedes. Really sketchy, close to the wall, still side by side with Russell. He's gonna pull ahead, but we will have DRS on the Mercedes down the straight. This is turning into quite a mess. Well, we're gonna do exactly what we just did to Verstappen. This time, it's gonna be Russell that gets overtaken by 2 cars in one straight, past the Mercedes up into P2, side by side with Verstappen, but we've got the inside line. It's just gonna be passing and repassing. It's kind of like the like 2026 right now. I don't think we're gonna be able to fight this at all. There goes Verstappen. We're gonna be too far back for a move into this right-hander. So once again, we're just gonna have to stick as close as we can and go for a pass on that main straight. As long as we get a good exit out of this left-hander and onto the straight, we have a problem. We've got an ERS fault. We're stuck in no deploy. We've got no battery down the straight. Here comes Russell. He's gonna just absolutely fly by us. There goes Leclerc too. That's 2 cars past us before we even get to DRS. That is absolutely terrible. So now we have 2 cars between us and Verstappen, who is now going to completely run away. We have to overtake the Mercedes and the Ferrari. There we go, ERS back online. So we're going to have to send it down into turn 1. It's going to be a crazy move to try to get both of these guys, but we've got the inside, and down the inside we go. Way too late on the brakes. Contact with Leclerc, but now Verstappen is 2 seconds up the road. That just killed us. Verstappen is way faster. Once he gets in that clear air, it's completely over. So it's 3 seconds now to the Red Bull, and that ERS fault might have just cost us our race with Verstappen, but here comes Leclerc. We're side by side with him on the straight. Into the braking zone we go. Russell is going to be joining us very soon. He's got the outside, and it is just too much of a risk to try to battle it out with these guys wheel to wheel. This is just absolutely terrible. So we're down in 5th place now, and we're gonna have to waste all of our time fighting with Russell and Leclerc to even get on the podium. And it's just gonna let Verstappen completely run away, but there's a safety car.
Safety car's out. Keep an eye on the
Oh,
delta.
God. I'm wondering if we pit for softs. There's not that many laps left. No, I think we stay out. Our tires are fine. And we have a chance to jump someone on the restart, but the field is very spread out. So I feel like this safety car might be like 2 or 3 laps. I don't know. Well, we've committed now. So that was kind of bad timing, I guess, with the safety car. But at the same time, it bunches everyone up once again. So we will have a shot to get past these 2 guys in front and maybe take the fight to Verstappen once again. But, I don't know. It might be a little chaotic here. Okay, another lap under safety car. We still have a straggler. One of the Saubers is not caught up to the pack yet, so I assume we're going to be restarting on lap 21. So we'll have 4 racing laps until the end.
Okay, let's get ready to go racing again. The safety car is in this lap.
Here we go. We need to get the jump on these 2 cars in front. We're going to pull right alongside the Mercedes here, right before green flag running, and there we go. Russell punches it, dumping the battery into turn 1. We'll get past the Mercedes, but we're going to send it on Leclerc as well. Back up onto the podium, with both the Red Bulls just barely ahead. That was the perfect restart. We don't have DRS just yet, but we might be close enough for a move on Verstappen. It's going to be very late, but we're not going to be close enough. We will be close enough for a move into turn 1, though. On to lap 22. Verstappen will take the racing line, so we've got the inside into turn 1. Verstappen's gonna pull ahead once again. Crazy traction on corner exit. We have the DRS on this next straight, but Leclerc is getting involved once again. We're gonna have to prioritize defending from the Ferrari. He goes up the inside, and he's gonna make it stick. So once again, we have a car between us and Verstappen. We can definitely get our move done on Leclerc. We'll have the DRS, but we're very low on battery. Here we go, re-overtaking the Ferrari. Back up onto the podium, but Russell comes through as well. So once again, we're going to be fighting these 2 drivers that are not involved with the championship whatsoever. Russell's going to continue to get involved, passing us before turn 1 and back down to 4th on lap 23. This is the exact same situation as before. All this fighting and defending with this Mercedes and this Ferrari is going to let Verstappen completely run away. There goes Leclerc. Once again, we're going to try around the outside to close the door on the Ferrari. But once again, he pulls in front. Now we got Alonso in the mix too. We need some team orders. We cannot have Alonso fighting us as well. We've got the slipstream and the DRS on Leclerc. We'll pass the Ferrari, but we're going to be side by side with Alonso into the braking zone. Luckily, up into 4th place. Hopefully they start fighting behind and we can just focus on Russell ahead. Yeah, we're going to be missing out on the DRS to Russell. Unless he makes a mistake into this left-hander, we will not have the DRS on this straight. And we've only got 1 lap to go. So it's looking like Russell might have just stolen this podium from us. Here we go, on to the final lap of what has been a crazy race in Vegas. I think we are not going to be able to catch Russell, but luckily, we don't have to worry about Leclerc or Alonso. So maybe if Russell makes a mistake, we can get him, but it's going to be a tall order. Yeah, it feels like we just don't have the grip through these first 2 sectors, so we are losing time to Russell ahead, which means Leclerc might be within the DRS on this final straight. So we might have to worry about the Ferrari at the last second here. We don't have much left on the battery, but we're going to dump it completely on this straight. Leclerc's only a second behind, but he does have the DRS, so we will be gaining into this final braking zone, but I think he's just a bit too far back to go for a move, and that will most likely be 4th place on lock. So Piastri will win the race. Verstappen P2. We miss out on the podium. I don't know if it's gonna be enough to win the championship, but we got it! We got it! Verstappen P2, and that's a championship win.
But mate, you have pulled it out the bag, and you are the world champion.
Oh my God. What a crazy race. We have done it. There we go. Brad Pitt is the world champion. On his 2nd season in F1. We had the car this year. The second half of the season was tough, but we made it work. That is beautiful. So we miss out on the podium, but all that battling with Verstappen, we were side by side for like 20 laps, constantly back and forth, and it all paid off in the end. We couldn't let Verstappen win and us be off the podium. So all that fighting brought him down to P2. He couldn't catch up to Piastri, and that is exactly what we needed to win the championship. Win it at home in Vegas, too. Wow, what a season, what a race. Of course, the gap to Verstappen as we win the championship is 67 points. Of course, of course it is. Well, we still have some work to do for the constructors if we want to go for that. I mean, it's going to be a bit of a stretch. 56 points to Red Bull, and there's 2 races remaining. And with the car they have, I don't know if that will be possible. Oh, baby, look at that. We've got the trophy. Brad Pitt is a world drivers champion in his 2nd season in Formula 1. What a journey it's been. The first season, we started off the back of the pack. And by the end, we were slowly working our way to fight towards the front. And we started to get a taste of good results, of some race wins, and a lot more consistent podiums. And then at the beginning of this season, look at the race wins. Just pure dominance through the first half of the season, win after win. It turned around in Hungary. We started to struggle. The Red Bull was so fast, but we made it work. We kept up with Verstappen. We had a big gap going into the second half of the season. Verstappen started chipping away, but at the end, we've been able to tighten it up and keep fighting Verstappen at the front. What a satisfying championship win. Well, the season is not over yet. We've got 2 races to go. We still have the constructors to fight for, which it's gonna be tough, but we'll try our best.